Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be installing a stiffer front sway bar onto my truck from Belltech. This should in theory help improve cornering and generally improve the stability of the truck, reduce body roll, just make it a better driving experience altogether. In order to understand why I'm doing this, you have to understand how a sway bar works. What a sway bar does is when load is applied to one side of it, it will twist and apply that load to the other side of the suspension. What that does is applies more force to the other wheel, being the inside wheel during a corner, which typically has less weight on it, as the outside wheel is getting all of the momentum of the body rolling over onto it. So by installing a stiffer sway bar, what I'm doing is I'm allowing more force to be transmitted to the other side of the suspension under load, which allows more grip on the inside tire during cornering, as during cornering, some of the forces that would be transferred to the outside tire are going to be transferred to the inside tire. Overall, it's just a very easy, simple upgrade for your handling, which doesn't increase spring rate, doesn't decrease ride quality at all. It's basically a no loss scenario. With that being said, I'm going to begin on the install of the sway bar, and then at the end of the video I'm going to compare the stock sway bar with rubber bushings versus the stock sway bar with polyurethane bushings, and then use the Belltech sway bar with polyurethane bushings to see just how much of a difference it makes. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to remove the sway bar end link on both sides. At least for me, it's just a 14mm bolt. It comes out real easy, not too big of a deal. Next, I've just got a couple of bushings that are what the sway bar rotates in, and then it should just come right out. So here's a quick comparison of the factory sway bar versus the new Belltech one. I can obviously tell just by looking at it that the Belltech sway bar is noticeably just a stiffer sway bar because it's larger, thicker metal. I mean, there's not really much else to say than that. So, time to start the install process. So, I'm going to take those bushings and lubricate them, slide them on in the same position that they are there, and then after that it's pretty much just bolted on the same way you took it off. And then I fucked up. I had made the simple mistake of just putting the sway bar on upside down. In this clip you can see that there's a bit of a bend in the sway bar, which you want to be facing down instead of up like I had it initially, as when you have it facing up it contacts both the pitman and idler arm and it causes a groove to be dug into the sway bar. Overall, not too big of a deal. However, it is a bit unfortunate, but it shouldn't impact the sway bar much, and the rest of the install is still going to apply. Just make sure that you actually install it the correct way, unlike I did, as I installed it upside down. that the stiffer sway bar is on, I'm gonna go give it a good shakedown in my driveway. Then I'm gonna take it out on a twisty road and give you my honest opinions on the difference it makes and if it was worth it. Okay, so I'm out here on a bit of a twisty road right now to give the new sway bar a bit of a shakedown. It's been a bit since I installed it as the weather wasn't great, so I'm taking my chance now while the weather's good today and just getting out here and recording a little bit where I'm driving on a nice twisty road with the new sway bar. Hopefully should see some significant handling improvements. I can already tell you that it feels a bit more pointed going into corners and such, but I want to get more into the specifics of it, so let's get started. I can definitely tell it's way better on handling. Like, it feels way more stable just going into corners and such. It's really great. I mean, honestly, I can't say I would recommend another mod as your first mod if you had to choose one thing to do. You have to know that this is going to increase understeer a decent amount on any car, which not that bad on these considering that they're going to have a more front biased weight, which means they're more prone to oversteer given that they're rear wheel drive. So overall, I wouldn't say that's a negative. I would say it's actually more of a positive than anything, but I mean, it just makes the truck feel way better to drive. Like, I mean, you kind of just have to feel how it drives before and now, because it's just way more planted on corner entry especially, and on like sharp entry you can't really tell, but when you're sustaining a corner you can definitely tell the difference that it makes. I mean, it's pretty solid. I don't know what to say. It handles way better. It's really simple as that. It's a really good upgrade. I mean, I want to say it was like $200 some. I would say that's well worth it for the amount of handling improvement that you get and just how much more pointed it feels in corners. It's really amazing. I would recommend this to anyone. Whether your truck is lowered, modified, anything, you're just going to get such a better improvement in your handling, even from a truck that's stock ride height, I would imagine. Like, my truck, suspension-wise, this is really the only mod except for lowering it, which doesn't really count as I'm not increasing the stiffness at all. So I would say Belltech front sway bar, well worth it. Well worth it. That's gonna be all for this video. I have nothing else, just don't install your sway bar upside down like this.